Hi. Today's video is about longevity. I was going to joke and say it'll only be a short video on longevity, but I think the idea I want to get across to you is, I'm now in my late 50s, and in my 20s, late 20s, I think I was incredibly impatient. I heard a quote that said, the curse of the visionary is impatience. I think we can all relate to that. It's like we could see how things could be different, so we want them to happen straight away, and we're desperate to make them happen. And if they're not going to happen straight away, then what's the point of even doing anything? So there's that kind of impatience and desperation that can go together. I can certainly relate to them myself. And as I now reflect on where I'm at, I realise that a lot of the things that I wanted to happen more quickly have happened, but more slowly than I thought they would. But now that I look at it, I think, well, maybe it's just as well they didn't happen quickly. I've needed to mature. I've needed to become more of who I really am. I've needed to shed old ideas and old conditioning and programming that just hasn't really served me, that's actually kind of held me back. So I think I'm now believing much more in the idea of our maturing, of our being like a fine wine or a fine cheese, that actually it takes time to become who we are. And I'm not sure that it actually takes time, but because I think who we are is already pre-existent, but it takes time to allow who we are to surface more. We have to, like the Michelangelo idea that he just chipped away to find the statue of David within us. It's like perhaps we just have to do a lot of chipping away to allow the real us to surface. And I feel like I've done a lot of chipping away and probably got a lot more chipping away to do. But also I think, that idea of things happening over 10,000 hours of practice that you've probably heard Malcolm Gladwell talked about a lot, that actually we need to practice our craft. We need to engage and immerse ourselves in the things that we love, and little by little we become better at doing them. We become more skillful at doing them. We develop that kind of mastery. So if you're impatient, this may not help you with your impatience at all. But if you're thinking, well, could it ever happen? Something I want to happen, is it ever going to happen? I think longevity is a great way of looking at it. And even if you need to take short-term diversion sometimes and do things that you don't necessarily want to do to support your longer-term vision, that's okay too. So today's idea, allow yourself to contemplate the idea of longevity, that just because things haven't happened quickly doesn't mean they're not going to happen.